All right, hello and welcome traders. I want to take a moment and go through the February results of our trading account with you guys. And I want to look at what's working, what didn't work, if there was anything there, what didn't work, if, or what was working and that's not normal. I also want to go through the current setups that we have and take a look at, according to my strategy and my plan, am I really within those parameters? Or not? How do things look going forward? So I hope this will be a good educational video. It's not meant to say how great or whatever we did. It's really to get a sense of, well, what's working, what's not. The market's been struggling, moving sideways to lower for the most part in February, yet we had the best month of trading of all time. So it was the best month of realized gains and losses that I've ever had in this, at least in the Income Navigator account. So I want to share that with you, but really to give you a sense of, well, what's working and what's not. So let's dive in. I hope you're going to find this helpful to what we're doing. All right, let's get into it and let me share. And we're just going to run through the trade tracker here. And let's take a look at what's going on. So for the month of February, and we ended the week up another $4,000. So we had a good first week up 6,000. We had a fantastic second week up about 17 grand. Again, this is closed trades. This is not, hey, I sold some premium and I'm going to say I made all kinds of money just selling. No, this is actually the closed trades, not open trades. So this is actually what we're doing, what we're closing. We closed only 140 bucks worth of stuff in this third week, which was a shortened week, and then $4,000 to round out, including a bunch of hedges and stuff that came off on the last day here. So overall, we made 27,907. So it was a good month. It's the best month in this Income Navigator account that we've had. We had a couple $25,000 months. This was 27.9, so almost 28,000. Right, so we were up 710% on the gains and losses. However, net lick did drop on the month a bit, mainly because some of the holdings we have mainly in Tesla, in IBIT, and a few others, those are down, but I'm all good with those. Right now, they should rebound. They're not short-term trades at all. So good stuff in there. And I think we'll be on our road back with those. We've booked 9.8% in realized gains this year, so we're up $36,000 in closed trades. So to the positive. So we've made $36,000 trading here, and our net lick is up 3.18. Like I said, we have some of the current trades down a tad, but that's double the S&P, which is at 1.6% for the year, so still pretty good. But let's really dive into what's working. And to me, I'm focusing on my trades, individual trades, managing each trade. I do not have any that are anywhere close to stopping out. I think we're in good shape, knock on wood. Who knows where the market's going to open on Monday and head next week. But all good, and things are really lined up pretty well for us. So let's get into some things, and let's look at the strategies here, and let's look at February, and let's just go through them piece by piece. So in February, the 112Cs, which is the calendarized 112s, $3,600, 3,603. Now in January we closed two of these. February we only closed one, which is okay. Typically, we're going to close one and a half every single month, is what's going to happen according to the fact that we put on a 60-day trade. We get out of those in about 45 days. So depending on what happens, we don't get out of them exactly in 30 days, but overall, we're at $10,000, which is exactly where the plan is looking for the month. And we're going to go over the plan as well and see how we did. All right, SPY leaps. 1,200 bucks for the month, and then only 1,260 the previous month. We've only closed one in each month the last 2 months, and we do have a handful on. Again, this is where we are down a bit net lick wise, because these are leaps. They're all down a little bit. Some of them just haven't come off yet. I shouldn't say they're down, but we've got a couple down and a couple that are kind of flat, and we just let the trades work on these things. They take a while for these to come off, but still continues to generate positive cash flow on this strategy. So I love the strategy. It's one of my favorites. Now, we had a really, really good month in Strangles, 61.71. So over $6,000 in Strangles was the second best strategy that we had. So we had a variety of different Strangles come off and close for the month. Really great job on those. All right, so let's take a look. We had other 112 trades on. We made $2,300 on other 11X style bear trap trades. Some of these were in ES, some of these were in oil, which was a really great underlying for us this month as well. We booked $2,000 in zero DTE. Now, I don't do it every day. I only do zero DTE maybe 4 to 5, 6 times a month. We've been very good at it. We've done a couple more lately with the market kind of just being up and down with volatility up a bit. I would do more, and I would try to be consistently doing these on a daily basis. I'm just too busy, and there's just too many things going on for me to actually put the trade on and manage it. We have a lot of member Zooms and other things that we do, and it's just hard to put these on and track those. But it's been a good strategy for us. All right. We do a poor man's covered call, an income version, which is different than the standard poor man's covered call. I've covered these before in my videos. You can go check those out. The income poor man's covered call is essentially selling at the money or even slightly in the money poor man covered calls on leaps. So we generated $6,700 in income this month alone. Now we do have a couple trades on in NVIDIA. We have a trades on in Tesla. We have it on in SPY, and then we also have it on in IBIT. Now the Tesla and IBITs, the underlyings are down, which is what's weighing a bit on the net lick, but we're continuing to generate cash while that happens. So I'm pretty happy with that. So $6,700 just on the income portion of these poor man covered calls. $521 out of BIL, our distributions. Spec trades had a great month in spec trades, over $10,000 in spec trades. These could be any kind of a unique trade in, and if you want, well, let's take a quick look at these. A unique trade in any underlying. So XSP call spread. Here we did take a loss on Mobileye on a call. It's a long call on spec trades, but then we were up and we took a loss on a gold called Butterfly that just didn't work out, but we only lost $150 on that. Made $1,000 on a reverse Jade Lizard in bonds. Made another $1,000 on XSP call spreads. There we also had another $1,600 on a Jade Lizard in ES. We made $3,200 on CrowdStrike, and that was just buying the calls on CrowdStrike, which is a nice call. We don't do that typically very often, but it was nice to have. Gold, another Jade Lizard for $780. We did buy an Excel stock, took a quick little winner on that one, and then we did buy CrowdStrike again back in here. So we took some nice wins on that. Another spec trade on CrowdStrike, CLDI, and then down here on oil, we had a naked call that we had written, so that we closed. So there's most of our spec trades. You can see zero DTE once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So 6 zero TTEs for the month, which is what made up that those gains of $2,000, which was nice. Okay, so spec trades, really good for us. A couple stock trades, I don't typically do those. It was an opportunity, we took it. That may not happen again, but I'm not going to quibble with making an extra 10 grand. And then hedges, we lost about $5,000 on keeping hedges on. It's the cost of doing business. Every business has to have some insurance on your business, and hedges are a necessary evil that you've got to do. So there's where we are. So netted to 27,909. The goal for the month was 11,791. So we exceeded the goal by over 16 grand. We were just short last month. So overall, right now, it's taking into effect. So overall, right now, we're up about $4,000. It's counting the fact that we haven't booked anything for March yet. um, here. But overall, pretty good. And we've had 43 out of 52 winners for about 83%. Now, how did all that stack out up to uh, what the goal is for the account? So the strategy builder is my goal for the account. So SPY leaps, my goal is to generate somewhere around 3,400. We were a little light on that because our SPY leaps, we only closed one for 1,200. So a little light on SPY leaps. The 112Cs, we're looking to bring in about $3,600 a month. We did hit 3,600, so we hit it right on the head. I expect to go a little bit higher on that overall. Future Strangles, we look to bring in about $3,000 on the month. Like we said, I brought in $6,100 on that. And then the rest are all really spec trades. I'm just looking for a little bit of money, maybe an extra 800 bucks. If I hit all these numbers, including my bill distribution, should be generating around $12,000 a month in returns. You can see 11,403 is the goal here for next month. So the goal is always around that $11,000 mark at 3%. So 11,648 again. That's the goal. We did exceed it. That goal puts me around 3%. If we continue to do that on a monthly basis, obviously this month was exceeded that as far as the closed trades go. And then we just killed it when it came to spec trades. I mean, spec trades, if you count really this 10,000 here, these income PMCC trades, these are technically spec trades, even though I'm tracking them separately, they're not part of the core three, which is the SPY leaps, the 1-2 trades, and the strangles. Those are the core. That's 90% of what I do. 10% is really spec trades. But these poor man covered calls, the zero DTE, the 1-1X trades, the all those other spec trades that we did, all of those things run into the spec trading portion, which was the best part. So a really, really good month. I'm happy with the returns on the realized gains. I just went through the close, but here's what I want to do. I want to take a look at with the uh, with the strategies that I'm looking to do, how are we set up? So I'm going to go through all of the open trades that we have. So let's start. I'm going to start down here. I'm not going to worry about hedges so much, but I'm going to work on the 112 trade. So I allocate about $83,000 in margin for these trades. I have the max on right now. So I'm at $58,000 worth of margin. So I'm light on the margin for these, and I don't have another one going on for 2 more weeks. So if none of these fall off, well, this would be the oldest one. If this doesn't fall off in 2 weeks, then I'll get to my maximum of three, which will put me pretty doggone close to 80,000. So we're right on track there uh, with those. SPY leaps. So these are starting to stack up because SPY's not really moving higher. It's moving sideways to slightly down here. And I'm at 63,000. I've allocated $83,000 to these trades, which means I will go to a maximum of 10 tranches and then I stop. All right. So you can see that we're already at 7 tranches of these. Okay. So 7 tranches around. I can go 3 more tranches, which is going to put about, oh, 3 more trades, probably about $27,000 more. We're at 63. That would put us right around 90. So this 83 is pretty close to the goal. The goal is that's the maximum I want to allocate, and that's what I'd like to get into. So we'll put these on, and I'm fine. We're looking at the 465s, the 490s, the 485, 475. Even though these are down, and this is what's putting a little bit of drag in the net, like we're nowhere even close to these, with the markets being up around that $6,000 mark. So I'm fine with where we are, or SPY being around the $600 mark. All right. That being said, poor man's covered calls. I don't really have, these are spec trades. I'm tracking them separately just for tracking reasons. But technically, these are spec trades. I've already got $33,000 in these. It's probably too much. I'm a little over allocated. My buying power is a little higher than I wanted it to be here, but I'm going to let it ride a bit. here. We'll see how these do. I will probably start to close one or two of these. I want to keep the SPY one running and maybe something else, maybe IBIT or something. I'll probably remove Tesla and Nvidia because I'm really not a fan of individualized stocks in this account. But the Nvidia trade is actually up around 8% in just a couple weeks on these, and they're generating great cash flow. So right now, 548 plus 300, so about 800 plus another 1,000. So pretty close to 2,000 plus 400. So somewhere around $2,400 a week is what we're going to be generating. So I'm going to be generating around two to 2,500, 2,000 to $2,500 a week is what I'm generating in cash flow with the strategy. Right? And that kind of bears out when you look at what was the returns on these. We generated about $6,000 and we really haven't been doing it the whole month. So we're in good shape. Strangles, I've allocated $20,000. I am over that. So we're at $58,000 in Strangles. Okay. As long as my overall buying power is typically under the 60, because that's the goal here, is to really use about 55% of my buying power. So if I'm at 55% or less of buying power, then I feel like I'm okay to add new trades. Right now, I'm above that, so I'm not adding any new trades until things start to fall off. We've got a few extra strangles, but the overall buying power is not significantly being impacted. I'm okay with Dave having these four, probably one extra one on here, this ZB one, expensive trade to put on. ZB is just more expensive. I typically aim for about the same amount of income from selling the Strangles, but you can see ZB just a much more expensive trade. It's just throwing my BP off just a bit, but I'm okay with this Strangle. Now this one, there's two of them on, so they're both chewing up a decent amount of buying power. And then my spec trades, I'm only allocating about $20,000 to, and I'm up to about 53. So again, I am over my allocations, but my BP is not really out of control where I want to be. It's just crept up there with a few things that we have on. I will just let some things come off. I'm not adding any new trades at this point in time for any of these, but I will probably start to take some of these winners off, and we have a handful of winners in here. The most expensive one is this RTY 112. It's fine. I'm not going to do anything with it. If it gets stopped out, I'm out of it. If it comes for a winner, I'm out of it. Either way, I'm good with that. And then I don't really think any of these are crazy trades. They're all doing really, really well. So I'm just going to let them naturally start to fall off. I will get my margin back under control. All right, so there's February. Great month, really good returns for us on the month, and pretty excited about heading into this time of year, especially when the market's not doing great and we're closing winners. And we closed about 7% of return for the month on our initial net lick for the month in realized gains. And that's, to me, that's the goal, is the realized gains. If you keep winning and generating cash, the net lick will follow, right? And you're going to have some stocks that are up, some are down while they're in process. The goal is, if you manage those correctly, you have a great management plan, you have a good trade plan, things should work out for you long term. I'm a little heavy on my buying power, not out of control. It's not at a point I need to move things off. I'm just going to sit tight for a bit and let a few of these things fall off. There's a lot of winners in there. As they start to fall off and correct, we'll be in great shape. All right. I hope this was helpful. If you like this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up. Give a like to this. It would be great if you do me a favor and do that. If you found some value in what I'm doing and you see what I'm doing, you can follow along. Hopefully you can take something away from you, good or bad, and improve your trading. All right? And if you're not a subscriber, welcome. We'd love to have you subscribe and follow along my journey and see what's going on. All right. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.